You heard that right.
Van.
I'm Gary.
And this is Austin.
And we are Midwest Mics coming back at you live again on Facebook Live. We are on Roku, Amazon, Apple devices, and having another great show here on a Wednesday evening.
I want to thank you, Gary, for taking the time and bringing some student athletes in. A lot of these guys don't get the time or get the exposure, and, it's kind of neat that, my daughter started school this year at Shawnee Mission East. We're thinking about Parkville or Park Hill South or Park Hill. Ended up talking to you, and you kind of guided me through some of the Kansas schools. We lived in Kansas prior, but chose Shawnee Mission East. That's where you coach. So I instantly, we kind of became family with Midwest Mics, and then boom, now we're at East. So
yeah,
now we're a real family, right?
Yeah, it is a
family.
Fantastic school.
I'm impressed. I really am.
Just, being walking the halls there daily, it's an impressive environment. Obviously I'm partial to our football team, but I love the whole school, and it's just a great environment, I think, for, young people to grow up in.
It's an older school that's been very well maintained, and I was impressed. Coming from a Class 3-4 school in small town Missouri to Shawnee Mission East, all the turf. It's one sheet of turf behind the school there. It's impressive. So,
yeah.
You don't get to play your home games there, but,
no.
North's nice, but I'll let you take back.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have one spot that is not turfed, which we had to practice on today. But, anyway, if somebody wants to, donate a bunch of money, we could get that upper field turfed.
I thought it was
Somebody listed out there.
When there's something else that was going to be getting built or something like that.
Who had the turf field today?
Our freshman had a home game.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, Coach Hare.
Thanks a lot, Coach Hare.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I was like, soccer
they
field
win?
No, they dropped it to Gardner. So no Coach Hare magic today.
That's Coach Hare's first loss in 30 years.
Yeah.
No, not really, but it feels like that.
I know.
He
He
does really
wins
well.
a lot of games.
I just got to notice Prairie Village tomorrow higher in temperature at 92, so going to be hot tomorrow for practice, boys.
Yeah, it'll be all right. We just have our kind of field dress rehearsal, as we call it. We don't call it a walkthrough. We call it a dress rehearsal.
What night do you have team dinner?
We do that on Fridays pregame.
Okay.
Nate, what do we get for pregame meal?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. This is Nate Jones. He's going to be a two-way starter and player for us this year. Nate is going to start at offensive guard, left guard, right?
Yep.
And nose guard. You can find him on Twitter at Nate43Jones.
Closer to the mic.
Yeah, lean in closer to the mic, like the front part. But thanks for coming in tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Again, senior, captain, what does it mean to you to be a captain?
Just put in work and make sure everyone else is, putting in work, just get the whole team better. A lot of it starts with scout team. I think they have just as big of a role as, the kids who play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So. Scout team is critical to what we do. And, you're a guy who's kind of switched positions a couple times. Last year, starting the season, you were playing some linebacker, and you weren't getting a lot of reps there on the field. We had a need, for you at defensive end, so you played some of that last year. Played a little bit at nose, and then this year made the transition, putting your hand in the dirt and playing D-line. And then also, first year playing offensive line, again, filling a need for your team. And, I think that's kind of the definition of a captain. A guy that jumps in and, it's not about you. It's just, hey, what can I do to get the team better? And, so talk a little bit about, why you were open to moving around so much and then, making the transition and playing a little offense too.
Well, I mean, last year, if we're going to be honest, I probably got in about like half the games. So, this year, I was like, why not play both sides? Because Coach Long pulled me over and he asked me, or he was talking to me about playing a little bit of O-line because Coach Buttermore was saying something about it. So then, like, I, took a few days just to think about it, and then, I just thought O-line would be a fun time.
Yeah. Joe talked a little bit about Coach Butter. He said he's loud. I think we all agree with that.
Oh, yeah, he gets heated.
Yeah. What's it like playing for Coach Butter over there?
Oh, I like Coach Buttermore. He's a good coach. He definitely knows what he's talking about. And, yeah, like you were saying, your ears ring a little bit after practice.
Yeah.
But, good coach.
Yeah, he is. He does a really good job. And, I joke with him about being loud, but, we're all loud at times. I know I get pretty loud, too, sometimes, get pretty fired up. But, in fact, one day, I don't even remember when it was, but my daughter was there with my wife picking me up from practice, and I guess they heard me yelling from the car. And my daughter was like, "What? My dad's getting mad? I don't see this side of him." But so I thought that was funny because when I got in the car, she's like, "I could hear you all the way over here."
We get mad or just passionate?
It's more just passion.
Yeah.
I tell them, don't always listen to my tone. Listen to the message.
That's a good one.
Something I've
like
said.
that.
Here's what I always told my kids and any kids I coached or worked with: if the coach ain't communicating with you, they're giving up on you.
Yeah.
So if they're yelling at you, that means they still believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's there's different kinds of motivation, and every kid is you got to handle differently because we all have different brains, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the fun part of what I do is I get to work with all these different kids and kind of have to figure out what works for them. And some guys you can yell at, scream at, some guys you can't yell and scream at, but it's been a lot of fun. How much fun have you had playing Shawnee Mission East? Talk a little bit about that over your 4 years again, being a senior.
I've had a blast. I think having Coach Hare as a freshman coach, he really helped me out through like just becoming like a good, I guess student at Shawnee Mission East as well. He taught me a lot about the sport too, and he's great coach as he just gets you on the right path. I'd say.
Coach Hare, he's definitely a very unique individual and coach, and I joke with him. I think he's the winningest freshman football coach in the history of the state of Kansas.
Might be, maybe even in the U.S.
Yeah, he just sometimes like just going into games, you're like, man, how did we win that one? And Coach Hare just somehow, with those freshman guys, he just finds a way to get it done time and time again. But yeah, playing for him, I'm sure was a blast, and and then making the transition to varsity as a sophomore, still with Coach Delaney there. And then last year the transition, kind of changing head coaches twice in a matter of months. And how was that?
Oh, it was, honestly, it wasn't too big of a change since we kept the whole offense going. And, since last year I played deep, primarily defense. We still ran the same defense, I feel like a lot of it was just having the will to keep motivated throughout that, and I think our team last year had. We did very well at that, and I think we will continue to get better.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, being 8-3 last year, that was another good solid year. Lost in the quarterfinals to Lake the North, tough game, but it's Gardner week. Playing Gardner this week. You remember last year all the prep and the work that went into that and that week. And, how do you feel now that we're 48 hours from the game?
Oh, I think we're ready. I feel like we've been preparing very well for this game, and I think we're definitely ready.
Yeah. I know all your teammates said they're ready, and I think everybody's ready to just get to Friday night, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's about 8:10 here on Wednesday night, so really, literally in 48 hours, we'll be probably through about a quarter of the game, and hopefully we're on top.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully. But what's your favorite Shawnee Mission East football memory?
I'd probably have to go with the same one as Joe. I mean, that Olathe North game was something very special. The first time we played them, just like it came down to like the very last moment, and it was just a good experience for the team. Just seeing us win in a tight situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was probably my favorite.
Yeah, and that was, if I remember right, that was kind of right about the time you were making the transition to D-line, right?
Yeah.
That game was the first real varsity action at D-line you had got?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. But, yeah, that definitely was, a fun game. And, it's always great to look back at those. And, but 2019 season, your senior year.
Oh, yeah.
And you and your class have really put together a good body of work here this spring and summer. And, I feel like as much as we can be, it's ready to go. And let's get to Friday night and see some live bullets flying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But thanks again for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me
tonight.
It was a nice studio.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Jim has done a good job here with the UClick Studios, and does a good job behind the scenes up there for us. And it was fun to have you guys on and talk a little SME football. And we'll take another short break and come back and wrap the show up.
Van life. It's been defined as the continuous, everlasting void of living in a van. And if van life is calling you, then you should check out vandoit.com. Van Doit can be used as a primary vehicle with 7-passenger seating, convertible to a camper van, or anywhere in between. Go ahead, give our site and blog a gander. We assure you, it's going to make you say, you Van Doit. 816-944-2229. Or check us out at vandoit.com.
I'm Johnny Quay, head coach of the St. Joe Mustangs. If you're looking for professional quality, customized wood bat for your baseball player, Walk Off Wood Bat Company is the place to go. All bats are made with prime quality wood, and the options for customization are endless. Gamers, fungos, training bats, they have them all. The Mustangs are excited to have Walk Off Wood as our official bat supplier this season. If we trust our players to swing Walk Off Wood, you should too. Go online and order today.
I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
We are Midwest Mikes coming back at you live and in living color. It was a pretty fun show tonight having those guys on. QB1, Ryan Bolin, Nate Jones, offensive guard, nose guard, and Joe Krause, center. And then he's going to play a little nose for us this year too.
Yeah, really outstanding young men came in here. Didn't buckle under the pressure of being on TV.
Yeah.
And then they're all you can all really tell they're ready to go. For Friday night. They're ready to roll. And and you can tell they're composed, they're prepared. I think you guys are ready for Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you, Gary, they all seem very, very smart